Hi everyone. As you know, I'm Emma, Blissfully Emma, and today with my hubby, Goji Man, I've roped in. We're going to be doing a Q&A for you guys. So if you got any questions, then please let us know. Get typing away in the comments just over there if there's anybody there.
I think we're 4 people.
Have we? How can you tell that? Oh yeah, it's at the top. Hello. So we can answer anything to do with vegan health and nutrition, lifestyle, depression, anxiety issues, anything you want to talk about. So, especially this guy over here. He's
We'll see what the questions are first.
Evening, Rob. Oh, Blackpool. Yeah, I've been to Blackpool many years ago. Yeah.
I've not been to Blackpool.
Maybe not.
No.
It was a long time ago. I went with like an arts. Maybe not.
No.
It was a long time ago. I went with like an arts trip at school. We did a lot of. I didn't go on any of the main attractions you'd see there. I went on. we were drawing and painting for school in Blackpool. So there you go.
So let me read some of these questions out as they come through. So I don't know how you pronounce it. How would you pronounce that?
Sophie, is it Sophie DW?
We'll go with that.
Yeah, sorry.
It says, hello, how did you both go vegan? Do you want to start with that?
Yeah. How did I go vegan? It happened over I got diagnosed with a condition called PCOS. I think that's where it all sort of began, isn't it?
Yeah.
And I got watching this video around the same time, watching a documentary at the same time called Fork Over Knives. I'm not sure if you watched it. And it kind of influenced my health journey from starting with the condition, didn't it, all the way through. So
yeah,
I've basically tailored my diet and my lifestyle to help combat PCOS, and I eventually managed to rid myself of it completely. I've done a video on it further down in it's one of the first videos I did. I did a video called Why I Went Vegan. So that talks about PCOS and lots of other different things. And be sure to check it out. It's my first live stream, so bear with me. And how did you go vegan?
Well, you actually went vegan before me, didn't you?
Yeah.
So it was like Emma was saying. We found Fork Over Knives. Emma went vegan first. Started to see the health benefits from that, and then I kind of looked at it and did some research, got into nutrition, and just followed suit that way, really, didn't I?
Yeah. So
it's been a long journey, long but interesting journey.
Yeah, and it's led us here to you guys, so it's all good.
Cool. All right, let me ask you some of these questions coming through then. What have we got here? What do you think when people say they have an illness that means they can't be vegan? I think it's silly because you wouldn't recommend a cow eating meat because of an illness that vegan doesn't help. I would say on that, there are certain health conditions and certain gut problems, as seen with vegetable police, that make it quite difficult at times to be pure vegan. And by that, I mean, if you have gut dysbiosis, if you have SIBO, candida, parasites, and all these other type of problems, if you load the body up with fiber and oxalates and salicylates and stuff I talk about on my channel, it can be very difficult for someone to maintain a pure sort of vegan diet if you don't clear out the bad bacteria, the dysbiosis, the SIBO, and stuff like that. There are a lot of people on YouTube at the moment, ex-vegans, who are talking sort of about vegan diets and how they are or can be very negative for the body. But as I talk about a lot on my channel, it's about realizing that there are underlying gut problems that make it difficult, and it's not the food per se that is bad, if that makes sense.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Let's see if I can find you any questions. So if you've got any questions for this one, type them.
Greetings from the Ukraine. Hi, greetings from UK.
Right, what else have we got here? What do you think that food sensitivity? Do you think that food sensitivity tests, very popular among vegan YouTubers, are reliable? Greetings from West Midlands. So they can be reliable, but they can be very unreliable as well, which is why I always talk about on my channel that you have to do the organic acids test, SIBO test, and stool test combined, because with food sensitivity tests and other testing, there can be false positives and false negatives. So if you combine 3 different tests together, then you're much more likely to not get those negative results. So yeah, as you say there rightly, they can, they can be good and they can be bad, but it's just how you interpret them, and how you combine the tests together. So what else have we got here?
Oh, they're coming thick and fast now.
Sending love and support. Germany.
Hi, Germany. Vegan Tina, hello.
Hi, NHS website says you only need 4 milligram of vitamin E a day, whereas Chronometer and Canadian Health Service says 15 milligram. RDAs vary from country to country and organisation to organisation. It's one of those things that you have to listen to your body. Your body will always tell you if you're low or you're getting sufficient quantities of certain vitamins and minerals. So it's about listening to your body and having that kind of thought process, would you say? Because you don't track any of your nutrients, and I don't track any of my nutrients on Chronometer, really. It's about understanding what's going on in your body and then listening.
I think as well, it's knowing in yourself, because like obviously if you're gonna go out on a weekend, and I don't know, I'm not a junk food vegan. Oh, all the questions have disappeared.
Yeah.
I'm not a junk food vegan, so for me, if I ate, we're back. We lost all the questions for a minute. What was the question again? Yeah, so if I'm not a junk food vegan, so for me, if I've had like a whole weekend eating junk food, and then I'll know that that's not good for me. So like I know myself that when there's a good balance in what I eat, which is whole food. When I eat whole food, plant-based diet, I do things like I'll have a smoothie in the morning, so that way that I know that I've packed in a lot of nutrition before I've even left the house. I supplement B12, and then little markers like the putting in seaweed for iodine, because I know you were saying that that's quite hard to get.
It's not hard. It's just a lot of vegans don't necessarily incorporate it.
Yeah, that's what I mean. Like it's not something that you would think of. So there are a couple of things that I have to actually really think about now, because it's become such a habit to get that level of kind of nutrition in on a day-to-day basis. So yeah, I think somebody's asked me about cooking. Where was that question?
Which one of you does the majority of the cooking?
Oh, hi, Live or Die. That's me. That's me. I love cooking. And before I went vegan, I wasn't a very good cook at all. In fact, I hated cooking, didn't I?
Yeah.
I'd rely on you to do the cooking. I was pretty hopeless in the kitchen. I think going vegan, plant-based whole food vegan, when you're kind of you I don't know, for me it incentivized me to look into different foods and look into different flavors, and now it's kind of therapeutic going in the kitchen, a long day at work, and I actually enjoy being in there with the radio on. It's quite nice.
Yeah. Out there for hours usually, aren't you?
Yeah.
Potter around for
That's the thing.
So.
Like on a Sunday or a particular day, at time over the weekend, some days I'll batch it all in one on a Sunday. So I'll make like a big batch of food for lunch that I'll be eating in the week, and then maybe, I don't know, like a chili mix or a curry that I can sort of heat up in the week. And then things like, I think it's really good as well to make things like my flapjacks on my channel, which I'm pretty obsessed with, and things like hummus, like accompaniments, things that you can sort of pick at and keep you going. And I find that's things like flapjacks and a lot of the kind of biscuits and things, like healthy biscuits that you can make out of dates and almonds and like cashew butter and things. They're quite good because you can just sort of reach into the fridge and grab one of those instead of going, you know, somewhere else where you might get something quite high processed. So yeah, it takes a lot of work sometimes, but I think I enjoy it, so it's all good.
Let me have a look at this other question. It's from Sophie DW again.
Hi.
Emma, how did you know I was the one?
Oh, have you seen that video? Yeah, that he did on his channel. If not, I'd go check it out because it kind of explains your side of it, doesn't it?
Yeah.
Really, I should do like a response video to that.
Yeah.
Shouldn't I?
I think you should answer the question now and let everyone know how you knew I was the one.
It's just one of those things. I just kind of, we clicked so well, like, didn't we?
Yeah.
Apart from the awkward kiss we had on our first date, as is shown in this video. But it's just one of those things we kind of, we counterbalance each other really well, and like what you're kind of different in personality. You know, you're very like a bit more emotional and a bit more kind of I don't want to say neurotic, because I don't like using words like that, but a bit more in touch with my kind of emotions and things and stuff. So yeah, I think we balance each other out, and I think we're from there. I don't know, it was strange. It was like a strange sort of pull towards each other, wasn't it?
I have that effect.
Yeah, right.
Effect.
Yeah, right. I've also got to put up with this like really dry, arrogant sense of humour.
Wow.
I've lost track of where we are now.
Let's have a look at some of these questions. I've got someone from Mexico.
Any advice on diet for running for long distances?
It will very much depend on your body and the type of bacteria you've got in your gut. Obviously, if you've got predominantly carbohydrate fermenting bacteria, then your body will process carbohydrates a lot more efficiently. If you've got more fat processing bacteria in your gut, then you might do well on a higher fat type diet. So it's really understanding what type of bacteria you've got in your gut and what works best for you. And then obviously, if you've got any dysbiosis in the gut, you need to fix that as well, which will help process and metabolize your food better, so that you can extract the nutrients and the energy from the food and convert that into energy a lot more efficiently. So without getting geeky and technical, it's just about listening to your body and obviously figuring out what works best for you in terms of fat, protein, and carb ratios and things like that, really. Yeah.
There's one asking from Rob Smith. Hello. What's your favourite type of yoga? Hatha, Ashtanga, Vinyasa, Yin, and how long have you been practicing? Yes. I started off in Hatha yoga, and I really loved that. I really connected with it. And the teacher I had at the time, it was very, very slow yoga, and I think at the time I was going through a lot of stress, and I think that really helped me. So I think I always sort of default to Hatha just because it was kind of my introduction into yoga, really. Ashtanga I do love as well, just because of I love how kind of powerful it is and how kind of strong you can feel, or not, when you're wobbling around on the mat. And yeah, I think those are the two I'm kind of enjoying at the moment. So yeah.
Cool. Let me find you another question then. That's nice.
Oh, greetings from Mexico. Hello, Judy. Oh, thank you for your lovely comment, Judy.
Right, let's find Emma some more questions. Vegan couples for the win.
Way.
Chickpea Signy says, how are you?
I'm good, thank you. I've recently I've gone to have some had an osteopath appointment earlier today to kind of straighten me out a bit. So I'm a bit sore, but I'm good.
What other questions have we got here? What do you guys use on your teeth? I've started using turmeric recently and I'm astonished with the results. My teeth actually feel stronger. I'll add a little sea salt too sometimes. Yeah, that all sounds great. We use tea tree toothpaste a lot of the time. And if we've not got any of that, we'll tend to make some homemade. So we'll have like peppermint oil, coconut oil, and a tiny bit of bicarb soda in there as well, which always works. But yeah, there's no kind of right or wrong answer for toothpaste. I think as long as you aren't using fluoride-based toothpaste, then you can't really go far wrong as long as it's organic and there's no hidden toxins or pollutants or chemicals in it. So yeah, I think you're on the right path there. Any other questions for this one?
Type away, type away.
I'll ask you some questions while they're thinking.
Okay.
So, what is your favourite vegan food?
My favourite vegan food. Oh gosh, you've asked me this before, and I always really struggle with this one. And I think I answer differently every time, don't I?
Yeah.
I would say probably if I had to pick like an ingredient, it would probably be a sweet potato, just because you can do so much with it.
Yeah.
So you can have like sweet potato fries, sweet potato curry. You can even make brownies out of sweet potatoes, which is pretty astonishing. But my favourite food, I don't know. I like chili.
You like noodle type dishes?
Oh, noodles, yeah. I'd probably say noodle dishes, actually. Yeah, in fact, it was one of the first videos I did, recipe videos, was a noodle dish. And I think you, in fact, say I do all the cooking now, but I think you did some cooking quite early on, didn't you? Before I kind of got quite obsessed with it, and I think.
And then I was banished from the kitchen.
Yeah.
Never to be seen again.
I think one of the noodle dish. Yeah, I think that's one of the first things you made me was a noodle dish. So. Yeah.
Okay, I've another question for you. Who is your favourite vegan YouTuber?
Favourite vegan YouTuber?
Which vegan YouTuber?
Well, of course it's you.
Well, yeah, of course.
Of course. And I get previews of his videos before they come out. I'm the first person that gets to watch them and
fall asleep.
Yeah, usually. So I'm not very good at the technical stuff, which is kind of ironic, isn't it? Because who do I watch? I'm trying to think who I watch. I'm actually I always watch Family First, don't I?
Yeah.
They're a vegan family that I've followed since they were quite like a lot smaller, and then we just hit like 1 million and something subscribers, which is pretty epic. I'm trying to think who else I follow. I kind of watch random ones, really. I
mixed bag, aren't you? You watch a lot of plant-based as well as vegan. So Deliciously Yellow.
Yeah.
People like that.
Yeah, all sorts of different people. And there's no one really specific. I'm just kind of like, I'll kind of do this thing where I get lost in YouTube for a bit, where I sort of, you click on one video, you see somebody, and then you click on another, and you just keep going. So it's usually something specific I want to see, or and then like, yeah. What about you? Is there anybody you're particularly into at the moment?
Yeah, I mean, there are lots of really good vegan YouTubers. Meg's a vegan. I really like him. Vegan Games is hysterical. He always cracks me up. Never fails to entertain. Vegetable Police, albeit he's gone carnivore now, I still really find, I find him really funny.
He's so funny, Vegetable Police. I really love his sense of humour. Like, he's a good guy.
Yeah, just anyone who talks truth, really.
Keeps it real.
Yeah, exactly. All right, let's find you some more questions.
Okay, this one there from Rob. Hi, Rob. Asking some good ones. What type of books do you read?
Go first.
Yeah, I read. I'm kind of like, split in many ways. I like biographies. I quite like reading ones about kind of women that have kind of made their own way, or I've lived, like I read Carrie Fisher's biography, and I'm trying to think who else, Caitlin Moran, and I'm just about to start reading Frida Kahlo's biography, which I got given not so long ago. Also, I read books on mindfulness, ways in which to kind of work on your way of thinking. So I've nearly finished reading The Chimp Paradox, which I highly recommend. It's a book that talks about the way we think and why we think the way that we do, and the habits that we've got into and kind of traps that we create for ourselves. So if you're thinking of kind of improving different parts of your life mentally, because for me, my journey is kind of, I see everything as a whole. So, you know, physical health and diet, and kind of your mind as well. So Feel the Fear and Do It Anyway. That's another one I've read recently. And I also like fiction, like sci-fi books. I'm a massive sci-fi fan, like a huge sci-fi fan.
Yeah.
Like, it's ridiculous how much I'm into science fiction. So yeah. How about you? What books do you read?
All the ones which you hate.
Yeah.
So yeah, I read a lot of kind of nutrition books and stuff like that. Obviously, all the main ones out there. You know, Fork Over Knives books, China Study, How Not to Die, Dr. Greger. I've read all of those. There's some very good ones around sort of depression and diet and those connections. So The Inflamed Mind, if you get a chance to read that, I'd really recommend. At the moment, I'm trying to read a lot around YouTube and how to grow YouTube channels and sort of affiliate marketing and all of that other stuff, which is taking up my time, along with the nutrition books and the nutrition books on my course and things like that. So yeah, you're much more of a reader than me.
You're very factual based with your reading, aren't you?
Yeah.
But I think because I'm like, we're both creative, but in different ways, aren't we?
Yeah.
I've always I started off in art school, and I'm still in the creative industries now, and it's something I do like day in, day out, like on Photoshop, like every single day. So it's kind of, we're both creative in our own ways, aren't we?
Yeah, absolutely. Let me find you another question.
Okay. I found one I want to answer though.
Go on.
This is a really good idea. Are you doing a vegan Christmas dinner video this year, Emma? That's a really good idea. I'm guessing it will also be gluten-free. Weirdly, at Christmas, we go to my mum and dad's, don't we?
Yeah.
At Christmas, and I make sure she does me. We have like a vegan. So my parents, they're not. I think like most people's parents, they're not vegan. So like, I kind of either bring my own and we kind of work together. And so, but I think that's a really good idea. I could do that. We could have our own here.
Goji Man Christmas.
Goji Man Christmas. That's a really good idea. We could have our own here, and you know, and then have one at my mum and dad's as well. Because when you can have two, why not have two Christmas dinners instead of one? So
we were actually thinking about for Emma's channel, actually, maybe once a week to do some live stream of cooking.
Yeah, like I need to think of some recipes that are quite like, you know, 'cause it's boring for you guys if you have to sit and watch like the oven for like half an hour for it to be finished. So I need to think of a way of doing it, don't I? So we're gonna come up with some ideas for the channel. But I'm really enjoying making these videos for you guys, and it's nice to be able to do this live because quite often if you're having I don't know, if you're not feeling quite confident that day or whatever, it's quite difficult, it's quite tricky to get the cuts right, and then you get really conscious that you're cutting it quite a lot. So it's quite nice to be able to be a bit more au naturel for you all. But yeah, that's a really good idea anyway, Christmas dinner. Yeah, thank you, Livordo.
This question here, no offense, but would you guys consider switching up your style and get more swaggy and cool for YouTube? I would say, I would say, absolutely not, because that's not us.
No, that's all. I've never been trendy.
No.
Like, I've always been geek. Like, always, I've always been a geek. I've always, in my younger days, I was goth, and now I'm just pure geek. And I think, like, for me, like, you should just be yourself. And if I was kind of like, even with like when it comes to makeup and stuff like that, like, I just think I'm not going to apply my face full of makeup for a channel, because that's just not me. And I think that you should just be able to express yourself as you are. Yeah, I think there's I don't know, I think you can run into a trap then of becoming something you're not, and think this is who we are. Like, I do wear other things other than like jumpers and stuff, but like you know, when I'm going out and things like that, like I do, you know, going out gig instead.
Yeah. I would say that ultimately, at the end of the day, we're just very chilled.
Yeah,
people.
we're really laid back. So, like, you know, what you see is pretty much what you get, really.
Yeah.
Yeah.
If you want swag or something like that, then probably go and watch someone else's channel.
Yeah.
Because that's not really us.
I think it's a really good question though, because I think there's a lot of probably expectation on people starting channels to kind of, you know, swag it up.
Yeah.
A lot of expectation, especially, I don't know, but I think especially for women as well, like, to maybe look a certain way or be a certain size, or, you know, like.
I would rather have a channel with 10 subscribers who were enjoying the content that I wanted to make, than have a channel with 100,000 subscribers where I'm just making content to get clicks, really.
Definitely, I think that's what it does become. If you're having to kind of behave in a certain way each time, it becomes really forced, and then even if you get subscribers on that basis, it's not going to be subscribers that you want. You would want for your channel, because in the end of the day, it's not you. So
yeah, and I think ultimately, at the end of the day as well, we're here to kind of try and help people.
We're talking about our experiences, and what we've been through, and we went through quite a lot together. And I always get really emotional thinking about it, but it was literally all of this with his health and everything cracked off at the same time. So it all cracked off within the space of 6 weeks, where I basically lost 2 members of my family. I lost 1 member of my family. Sai got ill, and then like a couple of weeks later, I lost another member of my family. So it was all within the space, wasn't it, of 6 weeks. And during a couple of weeks before that, I was diagnosed with PCOS as well. So it was pretty much like someone had just got this hand grenade and just gone on our lives. So, you know, it's been a tough journey, hasn't it? And the fact that we're sat here now, being able to, we got through it, and to be able to kind of help people and in any way we can, really is amazing, really, for something really positive to come out of those really dark times. And it is, you know, that's happened, and we're having to deal, like most people are, you know, things like that happen in your life, and then you have to then spend the rest of your time kind of picking up the pieces of that big explosion, because that doesn't just happen. You know, you've then got, like for me, you know, going through grief, and then depression that followed, and then anxiety that followed, and then, you know, symptoms of post-traumatic stress that followed, and then having to unpick all that and deal with all that, on top of, you know, all those mental things that affect your body, which is why I had to go see an osteopath, just to kind of, because I get dealing with that kind of residue of stress as it was. You then hold that in your body as well. So it's, you know, dealing with my body, which is how I got into yoga, and all these things happen, and you have to kind of deal with the aftershock, don't you, of it all happening. And for you, you know, it's been really. I don't think, you know, when you talk about how you got kind of, how, you know, the antibiotic and what it did, like, it can never convey, like, it's really hard to convey just how devastating that was for you. So it's kind of, by sharing our story, and
Yeah, I think just going back to the question about swag
Yes,
and things
went a
like
bit off
that, we've
topic.
gone off on a bit
Yeah.
of a tangent.
As me all over, I just kind of.
Yeah, we have to rein her in now again. Yeah, ultimately, like Emma was saying, specifically around my channel, all I want to do is give people information. I'm not here to grow the biggest YouTube channel. I'm not here to be the most entertaining of YouTubers. That's not why I'm here. If I can give you some information which is going to help you and transform your health and, you know, make you thrive on a vegan diet, then that's all I want to do.
Yeah.
All of that other stuff, then I'll leave that for other people. And I think that's why ultimately, recently I said on my YouTube channel that I'm not going to be doing any of these response type videos anymore because it's just counterproductive. I just get into these kind of slanging matches with people and it's just unnecessary. It doesn't do anything for me, and it doesn't do anything for veganism, and it just presents a negative type of connotation around veganism, and it's just not really good for anyone, really.
Yeah.
Anyway, let me find you some more questions.
Yeah, just scroll up. There's been quite a few. If you scroll up.
Let's have a look.
Been kind of watching since we were chatting about books and things.
So, Chimp Paradox is awesome.
Yeah.
So
yeah, it is. What's your favourite vegan soup? Hi. Oh, that's a very difficult one because I like a lot of soup. I'd say like I make a sweet potato. That would be my favourite.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Just trying to think. Yeah, I'd probably go with that as well. It's quite.
Yeah.
I prefer soups which are very simple to make, just very hearty and homely. So yeah, I'll go with that as well. Let me find you a Geekish Chic, apparently.
Oh, it so is. And you know, a lot of people I know are geeks and we're just the best, aren't we? Yeah.
Holly Scott put, I agree, being yourself, expressing yourself as who you are. Enough fake people out there. I love pure and honest people.
Cool, yeah. Yeah, good comment. Yeah, definitely.
Do you ever eat vegan junk food or are you 100% whole foods?
That's a good one.
Chickpea Sonny. Do you ever partake in vegan junk food?
Yes. I'm not gonna lie, because I'm a human. So, you know, if I'm out with, it's not very often though. Like, is it really?
No.
It's like it's not like I would. It's kind of, you know, if I go out with a friend, or you know, I don't have like vegan junk food at home. It's kind of when I'm out really, and even then, you know, I usually end up in somewhere like I don't know that has noodles or something like that. So
I think your body's quite sensitive towards like junk foods and stuff. So for those of you who aren't aware, Emma had a condition called polycystic ovarian syndrome. Now, the causes and drivers behind that disease are varied. So it could be for you, it might have been contraceptive pill, poor diet, lifestyle, lots of those different factors. But as a result, obviously, when you reverse your condition, which there's a video we'll link up at some point.
On your channel.
Yeah, on my channel. So go over to my channel and have a watch of that video about how Emma reversed her PCOS. But going back to the question, it just seems like the net effect for Emma's body around kind of diet and stuff. All the time she's eating whole food, plant-based, diet foods, then her body reacts very well. Would you say that's fair?
Yeah.
And then as soon as you start straying off of that, and I think this is the same with many different people as well, because you know, if you eat well, then your body reacts well to it, and if you don't, then
it's kind of I remember like the other week I was away, and in a place that I've gone away with work, I didn't really know where, you know, didn't know the area too well, and I found the nearest vegan place I could, and that was kind of a burger. It was like a burger, a burger, and you eat it and you think, oh, this is, and you kind of get that like cheeky feeling about it, but after I've had it, I just feel a bit rubbish, really, because it's not that filling, really. I mean, if people feel comfortable doing that, but it's just not for me, really, like long term.
Cool. Let's find some other questions for you. Jordan's put, I think your style is cool.
Oh, thanks.
Vegan Tina's put, your style is wonderful. No need to change. Clearly, it has brought us all here and coming back for more, which is cool.
Yeah, that's really lovely. Thank you.
Let's see what else we've got here. So Little Di put, I went through the same. I took antibiotics and everything went wrong with my body. Even my bowel stopped functioning. I even have the same water bottle as Goji. Cheers. Yeah, I mean, we all know the risks of antibiotics. They're, in the right scenario, they're lifesavers, but when they're prescribed unnecessarily, they can cause havoc with people's health. And I think over the next 5 or 10 years, we'll see a lot of research coming out around sort of the impact of antibiotics on the gut microbiome and the long-term effects of that in terms of autoimmune problems, not digesting foods properly, and all of that stuff. So I think it's still a new area of science, but yeah, there will be a lot of research coming out over the next 5 or 10 years on that. So yeah, message you'll take home from that: if you don't need to take antibiotics, then don't take them. So Rob Smith put, geek and chic and weird is wonderful. There you go.
Yeah.
Do your neighbours know of your vegan lifestyle and YouTube channels, and have you converted any locals? I think we've got more chance in this area of classy and fog than
Yeah.
We come from we live in a how would you describe Chesterfield?
I think it's quite industrialised where we live, and I think it's because I'm from, if you're not from the UK, I'm from the north of England and he's from the south. So this is my neck of the woods where we're living right now. And I think, I don't know, I think everybody gets very kind of set in the way that they eat. And there's a lot of traditions surrounding food. And, up north, it's all about having, big roast dinners and Yorkshire puddings and pies and fish and chips. And and you get certain very stereotypical lifestyles as well. But then, there are pockets of, our local city, Sheffield, has a place that are now calling the vegan quarter, because there's that many different vegan places that are popping up. So I think it's, as a movement, it's becoming more, it's getting more out there. But I think in terms of our neighbours knowing, I think they know we're vegan, don't they?
Yeah, they know we're vegan.
They know we're vegan, and they're really cool, our neighbours.
And they probably know from the fact that every other day that all they can hear is hashtag Ask Goji Man.
Yeah,
through the walls. Yeah.
I think that in terms of the people knowing about our channels, that we don't really, just kind of crack on.
Yeah, we do our own thing.
Yeah, we just do our own thing. Yeah.
Cool. Let me find you some other questions. So Stephanie says, what foods and lifestyle choices would you recommend for maximum longevity? Do you want to?
That's more a question for you, isn't it?
Yeah, no. I just want to see what your take on it.
Because I'm one of these people, I know it, but I can't, I'm not very good at expressing the nutrition stuff. Yeah. So that's why I say it's. I mean, I have a very holistic, in terms of longevity, I have a very holistic view of mind, body, what you put in your body is your food.
Yeah.
And I think, well, like I said, I think I did a previous post on, I anxiety and depression and going vegan and things like that. And I think for me it's all tied into one.
I would say longevity is multifaceted. So you've got obviously diet is a massive element of that, and then you've got things like stress, and you've got community. I think if you look at blue zones around the world, they all live on predominantly plant-based diets. Yes, there are blue zone regions in the world who eat, small amounts of meat and stuff, but those small amounts that account for maybe 5% maximum of their total diet. So in terms of longevity and foods specifically for longevity, you want to eat foods which increase your telomere length. Do you know what the telomere length is?
DNA?
Nearly. So your telomeres are the little caps on the end of your DNA.
See? That's what I meant.
And obviously, if you have longer telomeres, then your life expectancy is generally a bit longer. I love your scattiness at times. Ultimately, you want to be eating whole plant-based foods, wide variety of foods. Limit your fat intake. So obviously you can have moderate amounts of fat if that suits your body more, but if you go up to 50 or 60% or more fat in your diet, then that can have negative effects on your telomeres and your longevity prospects. Also, for longevity, you massively want to reduce your exposure to toxins and pollutants and chemicals and pesticides and all of that other stuff, and get a good clean source of water. It's multifaceted. I would say diet accounts for probably 70 to 80%, maybe 70% of your total longevity prospects. And then stress is a big factor, especially in today's world with sort of work-life balance and things like that. Vitamin D plays into that as well. You need lots of sun exposure and all of that other good stuff. So it's multifaceted, but as long as you get out in the sun, you eat a whole food, plant-based foods diet, you don't eat a lot of processed foods, then you're on to a winner, really.
Everything you said.
Let's have a look here.
Should we have a scroll up in case we missed any?
Yeah. No, I don't think we've missed any. Let me have a look. Can you do an Amazon buyer's guide for Chlorella, Spirulina, and marine phytoplankton? I will do a video at some point on buying, because I get a lot of questions about Chlorella, Spirulina, and marine phytoplankton, and because of the toxicity element of it. So I will do a video on that at some point in the next few weeks for you. It's probably easier that way. Stephanie says, thank you. Please describe your ideal community if you were to set up on your own. Do you want to go first, or do you want me to?
I don't know. You can go first, because we were talking about this the other day, weren't we?
Yeah. I mean, I've always had an ambition to set up like a vegan community somewhere, whether it be in the UK or in maybe somewhere slightly warmer, say Portugal. So for us, and you're coming around to the idea a bit more now, but I really like the idea of buying a plot of land and then setting up maybe 20 or 30, they're called geodomes, getting people there to come and live with us, same kind of morals, ethical standpoint, and all of that sort of good stuff, and then growing and expanding that community from there. You're just coming round to that idea now and that way of thinking. Emma's very much a city girl, would you say that's fair?
Yeah, I love the city. I do like a city. Yeah, growing up in the north of England, I do like a city. Yeah, it's so the chicken, really. Yeah, no, I like the idea of having like a place like that with like-minded people and all kind of being able to help each other and really, yeah, having you helping on the nutrition side and kind of,
Yeah.
And then there's the cookery and the yoga side of things as well. So yeah.
Rob's put, can I be a yoga teacher in the Goji community? Going to be doing my teacher training in the near future.
Yeah, you have to contend with me first.
There's room for everyone.
There is room for everybody.
I mean, that's something you're thinking about doing.
Yeah,
soon.
yeah, it's something that I'm thinking of taking on. I want to, because my yoga practice has been really sporadic. Like I practice it at home a lot, but to do the teacher training, you need, I think it's like 2 years like experience. I'm not sure if you have to prove that, with the prove it in some way to the people you go to. I think I might be able to get it down to a year because I've practiced on and off in yoga places for a good 4 years. So, and I do it at home all the time. I'm quite passionate about it. So, yeah, I am looking into doing that. I think it would be really good.
Cool. Nathan says, enjoyed both your channels and information shared. Thanks a bunch.
Thanks, Nathan. Thanks for watching.
Thank you very much. So we're probably going to keep going for maybe another 5 minutes or so.
Yeah.
So if you've got any more questions, then fire them in the comments and we'll pick those up for you. Let's see if I've missed any questions anywhere along the lines. Let's have a look. Let's have a look. Do either of you work out?
I do. Yeah. I go running. I keep changing what I'm doing. I've just started some treatment on my shoulder, so I won't be able to do it for a little while. But I usually go. I usually run like in the morning and do a little workout every morning. Yoga, I go one like between at least about twice a week to a class, and then I do bits of that at home. But I pretty much like listen to my body. So if I feel too exhausted, then I'm not going to push myself to do like kind of workout. That it's just going to go and get swings and roundabouts because it'll probably just make me feel even more exhausted after doing it. So yeah. Do any of you guys work out? Any recommendations?
Let's fire through some of these as well quickly. How long did it take to figure out what the real cause of your sickness was? Do you want to go first?
Is that for me?
I think we can both answer that. So
yeah.
You go first for your PCOS, and then.
What was the question? How long did it take?
Yeah. How long did it take you to figure out what the real cause of your sickness was?
That's a good question. Thanks, Jake. I'm trying to think. So I remember so much better like after the diagnosis than I do before. I think for me, I came off the contraceptive pill and I stopped having periods. And at the time, I wasn't very in touch with my body, so I really didn't think there was a problem to start with until later on when I was a bit like, actually, I'm like 12 months in and I've still not had one. That's when I knew that there was something wrong, but the doctors wouldn't actually do anything about it until it had been 18 months. So yeah, it was about 18 months before I was actually told, you've got this chronic condition. So yeah, that's how long it took for me.
For me, I pretty much knew straight away, didn't I?
Yeah.
I knew straight away that I was having a serious reaction to the antibiotic. The biggest issue for me, once I knew that, it was kind of figuring out, because at that point, my nutrition knowledge was fairly limited. I didn't really know about oxalates, salicylates, histamines and stuff. So it was always 2 steps forward, 1 back. I kind of, at first, I thought I had a massive problem with wheat and gluten and things like that. I thought I might have celiac disease. So kind of eliminated that, and then kind of I started realizing that I was reacting to high oxalate foods, high histamine foods, high salicylate foods. So it was a gradual step-by-step process. I would say in total, it probably took about 18 months in total, didn't it, for me to really pinpoint down what was going on. You say that? It was about 18, maybe slightly longer,
yeah. I think it was longer than that, because, and I think that's the most terrifying part of it, is when you don't know what's going on, and you're seeing these doctors and they can't really tell you anything.
Yeah.
That was the scary part for me when we were going through that with you.
Yeah.
And it's very isolating as well.
But you've got to work on your own intuition as well.
Yeah.
If you know that something isn't right, then never listen to a doctor.
Yeah.
You've got to be persistent, and take your own health in your own hands.
Yeah, you've really got to. If you know intuitively that there is something not right, and you're being told that you're fine, you just need to go. You need to keep pushing and keep pursuing it.
Yeah.
Somebody asked a question.
Let's have a look.
About that one.
What do you recommend for stress? Well, I'm probably the least stressed person ever. In fact, if I'm any more or less stressed, I'd probably be a sloth.
You'd be lying down all the time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What would you say?
Well, I'm quite a stressy person, and I recommend a combination of yoga's helps a lot, meditation, getting yourself some space in your mind, doing that, even if it's 2 minutes a day. I'd say that, because it helps give you perspective on what's going on in your life, and also if you've had anything happen, any traumas or anything that you can't, even if you're just down and you don't know why, or you feel like you need help in a particular thing but you're just not getting it and it's making you stressed, I do recommend going to get therapy and seeking that kind of help, if that would help as well, if you're coming from a kind of depression angle as well. Stress, and also looking at a lot of these kind of books I've been reading, is kind of like looking at bits of your life and seeing which bits make you happy, which bits don't make you happy, and then questioning why you're still doing the things that don't make you happy, and eventually kind of phasing them out if you can.
I've got another really good question for
you.
What's your favourite whole food vegan sweet treat? Says Stephanie.
Stephanie, that's like the longest question ever. Whole food vegan sweet treat. I really like making. Well, my favourite is my flapjack, which I make quite a lot
religiously,
and that's, you can see that video on my channel. But I also like I make these kind of chocolate cookies, which is made from cacao, almonds and almond butter and things. I might do a video on them because they're quite good, to kind of get that kind of sweet kick, and also just having like a block of like 100% like dark chocolate. That just sometimes it's just about kind of taking the edge off, because once you've had that little bit of dark chocolate, you don't really want anything else. Well, I don't. Yeah.
Cool. Another, in fact, a question for you guys. So Emma's channel's obviously fairly new. So what type of content would you like to see on Emma's channel?
Great question.
Would you like to see more live stuff, more cooking, more yoga type? Obviously, Emma intends to grow the channel over the next 6 and 12 months or so. So it'd be really good to see some feedback from you guys, really.
Yeah.
So Rob's put, Emma Goji, if any of your viewers are looking into meditation, there is a great app called Insight timer. There's even a community part to it, including groups, friends, etc. Cool. I've not heard of that before.
That one, yeah. No, thank you. Yeah. Well, I really enjoy doing cooking videos. That's
so Stephanie's put, Emma, what I eat in a day, or what my typical day is like.
Yeah, cool. That sounds good. Yeah. Yeah, I really enjoy doing the what I eat in a day videos, and I did like a typical Saturday, and I'd like to do other kind of typical days.
We'll try and do some live
type
of cooking videos as well, which would be quite cool. Live or Die took me around 19 months to completely nail what was going on. They diagnosed Crohn's, then changed it to IBD. Then I figured out things myself after endless research. I've been doctor-free for 3 years. It's fairly typical for a lot of people, isn't it?
It's amazing,
Yeah. So, any other questions? Get typing. Probably 3 or 4 minutes, then we'll close down the live stream.
Yeah, it's been good. This,
maybe you should both do a Q&A, Emma for lifestyle, etc., and Goji for an in-depth science stuff, then occasionally a fun combined one. Sounds like a plan.
That sounds like a good idea, yeah.
God, listen to that rain.
Yeah, it's hammering it down. Yeah. It was fun driving in it this evening.
Chickpea Sani's put, I suppose, a variety of videos on your life experiences and also some inspiration for healthy recipes. Judy AMP put, I've been enjoying the cooking videos. This live Q&A has been informative and neat. Also, maybe some on meditation and yoga. Rob Smith, got any pets? Yeah.
Yeah, we've got a cat called Rosie.
Yeah.
Who
should we bring her?
Yeah,
let me go.
Bring her in. For about 5 minutes ago, she was trying to scratch the door to come in. So, yeah. Oh, hey, Oxford. Yeah, we used to live in Oxford. Love it. Yeah, had a really good time in Oxford. Yeah, he's just gone to go and get the cat. Oh, here she is. There she is. Oh, she's not playing ball, but there she is. Oh, I think she's trying to break out of the window. So she's up here. Yeah, the weather's been really bad. It's been really bad today. Driving was pretty bad.
We have one cat. No, she doesn't want to play today.
No. Are you gonna? There's some more questions.
Yeah. Right. So what have we got here? Mike's put, enjoy the nutrition videos from Morton, Illinois.
Wow, Illinois. Hi. Hi, Mike.
Yeah, we're planning to go to the States next year, aren't we?
Yeah, I really want to go. I've always wanted to go to the States, and yeah, we want to do a big trip next year, which would be really cool.
States and Canada.
Yeah.
Cool. Camera shy kitty. She's usually not that shy.
Yeah, she's usually all over me, to be fair, but she's just playing up. Yeah, I don't know if you can hear her crying, but she's meowing. I'll just leave her. She's not bothered.
Should we call that time then?
Yeah.
Been here
Yeah.
an hour or so.
Wow, it's been an hour. That's gone really quick. Well, I hope you guys enjoyed it. If you'd like to see more types of these videos, just let me know in any of the comments below on any of my videos. And if there's any particular live kind of Q&As you would want, either just from me or from with a combined one with Goji Man, or if there's anything specific you'd want us to talk about in the future, just let us know. And equally, just let me know on my channel what kind of videos you'd like me to do, if you've not had a chance to post them here. Yeah, it's been fun to see you guys too, and get to know you. So, and yeah, Stephanie, you're pretty awesome too. And yeah, it's been good, hasn't it?
Cool. Yeah, it's been awesome.
Yeah, it's been awesome. You guys have been great. Yay.
Adios for now.
Bye. Bye.